Okay, let's go live. James speaking. Have you ever heard of vibe coding or what I'm calling vibe courses? Well, maybe not. It's brand new. It's stuff that's just come out in the last couple of weeks, especially with the launch of Claude.ai's brand new model, Sonnet 3.7. There's this thing that I'm getting on my feed because I subscribe to all sorts of stuff about AI tools. Is this stuff called vibe coding, and it's what all the software developers and application developers are talking about because with all of these new AI tools, they're able to basically to just talk to the AI like the brand new version of Claude Sonnet, which is apparently really good at coding. And it's basically creating software and apps just by talking to it. So I'm looking at that and I'm going, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we were able to do that with courses where we could basically talk to the AI and it would create the course content for me? Um, I'm betting that this is coming sooner rather than later, and I want to show you why. Uh, First thing, I'm kind of explain what the vibe coding is, and then how it can apply to courses. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of a video that I did yesterday about the new features in Claude 3.7 or Claude Sonnet 3.7 that are kind of leading me to think that this is coming. So if you aren't available or you didn't, sorry, not available. If you didn't see it before, I did a video yesterday that was about Claude 3.7 versus traditional AI. Watch a shocking difference. And the whole point to this video was that what I did is I gave it a one sentence prompt. I said something along the lines of create a 4-week curriculum for a beginner's piano course. And I gave it to 3 or 4 AI tools. The last tool that I gave it to was the Claude 3.7, and it did something that was different that I hadn't seen before. And what that was is it gave me a super detailed for a course curriculum, including stuff to do for the days. I said, give me a 4-week curriculum. It had 4 lessons in each week, and they included the talking points or the items to teach in it. It was super detailed and well done, but it also included graphic or visual multimedia images. I didn't ask for it, but it was relating to the lessons in the course and it created it for me. And it also created a tracking sheet for the practices that it suggested in the particular curriculum that created. So I look at this and I go, from one sentence, I got the curriculum. I also got some of the things I would normally have to ask for, like create quizzes, create some images to represent this, go to another tool, create it, have to explain it. Go to another tool and create a checklist based on that. It did a whole bunch of heavy lifting work for me without me having to ask. And this is why that tool caught my eye when I was seeing all this stuff on vibe coding. And I figured out, well, I better try and find out what vibe coding is, because what it is this new thing the software developers are doing. And here's what they call it. So using AI tools for the heavy lifting of coding to quickly build software. So this guy who's a coder, Andrej Kaparthi, pardon me for butchering his name. Again, I'll put the link to this post here. But he was saying basically he just got in the vibe and he was describing what it is, what wanted the software to do. And the AI tools, like this brand new version of Claude 3.7, were doing all of the code in the background. He wasn't doing any of the manual coding, it was being done for him. And he said this approach marks a shift in how software can be created. Traditionally, developing software meant knowing programming languages and writing, but AI advancements are changing it. And he said the hottest new programming language is English. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, well, how does that apply to courses? What about if I just said, hey, can you complete or can you create a brand new course on how to play piano over 4 weeks that includes the following lessons? And I need the quizzes, the videos, everything to teach this. So basically, you described what it is that you wanted. And you had AI tools like Sonnet 3.7, the Claude tool, that actually started creating this content for you. Now, the reason I mention that is it already started to do that, and I didn't ask for it. It created the practice tracking sheet. It created the images here that were done. It had the detailed syllabus that was there. And over the last 2 months, the last 8, 10 weeks, I've done all sorts of videos about how the whole way that we create video content is changing. And there's a number of tools I talked about. The one on the weekend, I think, or Friday last week, was about Free Pick, which is a publicly available AI tool for visual images and videos. Added the new Google VO2 text to video AI generator. And I've done a whole bunch of them on all of these tools that are coming out that are in the experimental beta phase now that we've had a look at that automatically take a text description and are creating videos for it. So the AI stuff is there now. And this requires this new approach to being able to talk or interface with the AI tool. This means that we don't have to be using cameras. We don't even have to be talking into the actual doing the narrations. We can interface with the AI tool just like Gemini Flashpoint 2 from AI Studio, which I showed, where you're talking to the AI tool and it's starting to create the content for us for the courses. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's something that's going to happen sooner rather than later. So keep your ear to the ground and start playing around and thinking about what are the particular pieces that I need or that I want to use to help me out doing this. And I put up a couple, couple ideas that I was kind of thinking about here, and I'll just kind of touch them because I think this is the interesting part here for us. So if, as an example, you're going, okay, well, what am I going to say to my AI tool, or what are the steps that I need to go through with it? And here's kind of the vision that I think I see happening. So you're going to be able to go and just say, look, talk to the AI tool and say, this is exactly what I want to teach. Your ability to describe and be creative about what it is you're teaching, I think, is the value here from us. But you're going to tell what you want to be able to teach, that teachable moment, or the approach that you want to do, or the process that you want to teach. You're going to make sure that you describe the audience and say, this is the course, but I want it for these people. And this is the answers or the type of information that they need to be able to do that based on my own personal experience. You'll also be able to say, this is the transformation you want to create. Most of the people are here now. I want them to do these 5 things to be able to get this. So if you can describe that transformation or provide the transformation for the people and explain the course that you're in, that's what you need to be able to create an online course. You don't need to be an expert videographer or video editor. You don't need to be able to have expensive props and places and studios and locations. We're in a place now where this is getting far easier and the barriers are being removed by all of the AI tools. So I'll put this before, but it's like if you just say, look, I want a beginner's course that teaches people over 40 how to start a podcast to share their expertise, and just start playing stuff out with it and having a good idea of what it is that you need to explain to people and how you want to actually teach it. And all of these tools use something that's called conversational iteration. And I've covered in actually a whole bunch of other, actually, if you go to trainingsites.io/join, there's a prompt library there, and I have hundreds of different prompts that I've used on a regular basis. And one of the ones, a whole prompting style, is called conversational prompting. And this is exactly the same thing, but think about it when you're doing it with the AI tool. So you're basically going to have a back and forth discussion. It's not manual text response, clarification, and text back and forth. You're just talking to someone that's doing the heavy work for you. You're the director of the film, you're the director of the course, getting your vision laid out and having the AI tool do the work for you. You can also ask and say, hey, this is the way I thought of it. Do you have any suggestions on how that can be enhanced? Or what are 3 other ways of doing that? What do you think? Is there a better way to explain this? Or have I forgotten something? So I'm the director, but I've also got all these other experts around me that can give me some feedback and help me out with that. And then you can all, quickly say, I'm doing all of this work in my course. If you have all of the output that it's been creating for you, you can just say, hey, this is too complex, or it wasn't really what I wanted. I want to apply this approach to it. And because it's doing the heavy lifting, doesn't mean you have to go refilm the entire work that you've done, or trash the edits, or update the handouts. This is something that can be done by the AI tool, regenerating stuff back and forth throughout the conversation. And again, the other part that is interesting for me as a course creator is I have thousands of video tutorials I've done on a regular basis. A lot of them are not reusable, and in fact, they become outdated, which is unfortunate, but it's a fact of life. When you are creating with AI the content, you have the ability to, first of all, modularize it. So put it into the chunks that you need, and it's easily updated and fixed as new information becomes involved. And it also can be reused. What that means to you is a couple things. It can be used in multiple courses, can also lead to personalized content because you're able to take the modules or sections and be able to intelligently personalize them or order them for other questions or other parts of other courses or things that you're teaching, which I think is kind of neat. And all of the written materials and handouts, that example that I used earlier with Claude 3.7, I didn't ask for it, it showed up. However, if I wanted to go back and forth and say, hey, I updated some of the lessons, can you update the checklist? Yeah, sure, not a problem. Hey, I have something else I wanted to add. Can you make sure it's in the checklist, in the curriculum, and create another graphic of the piano keys that show this? It's done. Heavy lifting, all done. And this is the part for us. If you're worried about AI, these are the things that you may be worried about. How can I make this my own? What are the things that I can do to make it so it really, really sounds like me? And if you're interfacing with a person, your ability to verbally interject or ask for clarifications or give clarifications from yourself to say, hey, here are my stories. These is my experience. This is what I learned. You basically just tell the AI tool while it's doing that, hey, I want this included. Or I had this situation. Let's create a similar analogy. Look at the pros and cons. But you're going to be able to put yourself into this far more easily when you're just talking to the AI tool and interfacing with it in a conversation, as opposed to trying to explain stuff in text and being able to use that. And anything that you do here is you're in also a really cool place that you can customize everything with the way that you teach stuff. So it's not just the AI generating it, it's the way that you portray yourself, the conversational style, the tone, the way that you tell your stories, the way that you use language and words. You can just say, look, hey, you're talking to me. This is the way I teach. Create the content based on the way that I teach. And again, it'll generate it. You can come back, look at it, import it, and make it your own. And that's really your unique kind of your own insight to the stuff that it can't provide. This is something that you're going to be able to do verbally as opposed to text, if and when this comes into play. And my personal other thing on this that is the big, big, big win for us is that when we're doing this, it means that we're not focused on the production of the course content. We're more focused on the ideas and the way that it is explained. And this allows us to be far more creative when we're thinking about all the cool stuff that we can teach. It makes makes it a lot easier to do stuff quickly, to change quickly, to be able to create better content, often update it and keep it pertinent, and answer questions that people have today about content maybe that you've created tomorrow. So if you're a topic expert, I'm sure that you have lots to say about stuff or lots that you want to say of stuff and stuff that you learn while you're doing all of this. It's a far faster way to be able to create great content that's easily changeable or updatable and also can be used in other parts of your business. So what do we do from here? Well, first thing is I think make sure that you understand this isn't here right now. Parts of it are. It is here for software development. I think it's going to be coming for course development, and it's going to be really exciting if a couple things. One is you pay attention to all of the AI tools, the ones that we've been talking about, ChatGPT, Claude, all of the Google tools. These are the ones that are important for us to be able to know how to interface with, because we're going to be able to interface verbally more so than textually in the short term. And then also making sure you get good at explaining what it is that you want to have done. Get creative, think outside the box. What are the things that you need to teach to provide the transformations that you're actually telling people that you can provide. So if you see this vibe coding thing, just think about vibe courses, because I hope it's coming, and I hope it's coming quickly, so that we can all create more courses, more tutorials, better materials when we're starting building and growing your education business. So my name is James, trainingsites.io. Make sure to go to my privately branded campus, where all of my content, courses, prompts, documents, everything there for you for free. And then like and subscribe to the channel, because I make 1 to 2 of these videos each and every day. Take care. We'll be back later with another great video. Expect the best.